is expressed in every culture, in every language, and that is amazing. That's what Shiva said, that it was the first real written and spoken language. That's the thing, spoken, because before that, I think all mankind had the same language before the Anunnaki started to divide the languages when they built the Tower of Babel, as it is said in the Bible. You know what I mean?
Actually, it's quite true, because the next, you just brought up a point that actually, I think I studied a little bit from a YouTube video about the Anunnaki regarding the Dead Sea Scrolls and tablets that were found from ancient times and that original language. But what it may have shared the time period being probably billions or millions of years old. But is that truly the origin of the language that actually this planet, quote unquote, actually found or was introduced?
Is what true now? The origin of the planet?
Well, yeah, because
the language,
when the first language, Sanskrit is actually the very first language that was introduced to this planet.
Well, yeah, Sanskrit was the very first language, not this planet per se, because remember, we're in school, and this planet is built for specifically for this that we're in now.
So I guess I'll bring a different question then. Between Terra and Gaia, Gaia being Mars, Terra being here, same language then?
I need to say Terra, it's Earth. Earth is Earth.
Well, I'm just using the universal language. The universal term is being Terra for terrarium.
Terrarium, right.
So that's why I use that term. Earth is what the humankind labels it, because it's defined in a sense later on as Earth, which is basically the same term, just different language.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering if Gaia or Mars had the same language, because that was populated in the past.
Right. Well, you know, the thing is that we got to go all the way back to the beginning when the language started, and then as we trickle down and to different mythologies and the different civilizations, one fall and another one rise, though it's still the same beings, but they rise in a different form, on a different civilization. The language began to be lost through time.
That definitely is factual, because the fact that biblically, from every language, because I've been over translated so many times and modified after so many years, it loses its essence.
And when you see the part in the Bible where they said, let us scramble their language so that they don't understand each other anymore, otherwise they will arise to the heaven, or make it into the heaven, you know what I mean?
Right.
That was the time that the Anunnakis them it was the Pleiadians that was building the tower, and it was the Anunnaki reptilian side of them that this caused the language to be scrambled, so that they would not find their way back into heaven, back into the conscious of knowing who they were.
Hence the term about religion being controlling, which is, exactly. I totally follow that completely, because it gets so easily distorted to the point that humanity creates so many sects, I guess is the best word,
sects,
or your term denominations, as they consider it, by using certain terms written in the book. I'll make a religion out of that. Well, what about the rest of the thing?
Exactly.
The whole story. I mean, come on.
So you only got bits and pieces. You know?
Exactly, and that's the other part that kind of annoys me, because when I did ask my father back when he was alive, and I was studying it because of my Catholic background, I had so many boatload of questions, especially with time gaps, that did not make sense. I'm like, why does it have so many time gaps? And then at the end of the book, it states there are more books written that are not included here. I'm like, many more books written, not included here? And I thought, why? Why not have them complete? Who cares if it's a massive library? So what? Make it complete. If it's volumes, fine. already
Right.
got like X number of books anyway inside there.
Exactly. So and that right there, you should continue to imply.
Well,
Why
I
is it?
later
Why
found
is it?
out, which you probably
Mhm.
both know about, the Gnostic writings, and Gnostic is an ancient Greek term, I believe, or Hebrew term, translated to
Gnostic,
enlightenment
right? Because
with
Gnostic,
methodology.
I believe it rose through the Norse somewhere.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is Norse,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, and then Gnostic does mean something like
It is enlightenment from when I found my
in
research
the
on it,
past or
asking,
something. Yes, right,
because it explains
right.
more about methodology, how something is done.
Yes, exactly.
And that's not, and
Very
it was
well.
considered by Constantine during the era when the book was being translated that it was actually not to be included. I'm like, who made you the decider? I thought myself, to say no to Gnostics when Gnostics are actually part, truly, of biblical writings. It's all connected, despite era when it was actually written. So what? The Book of
So,
Thomas, Mary,
mhm,
so forth, all considered Gnostic, but it's not inaccurate at all.
exactly. Okay.
Oh
And
man,
so,
does the
But,
Christian community
and
but
so
the
argue
why?
that?
the
Huh?
Gnostic is not only the Bible as a whole, it's the New Testament. The
Yeah,
Gnostics,
yeah.
talking about the New Testament, talking about Jesus and what Jesus really said and what he really meant. And this is what is all wrong
Yeah,
coming to
they really
mankind.
banned it. Oh my gosh, they
Wait, say that again.
Check it
I
out.
didn't quite.
of what he actually had done. Go
No,
ahead,
say that
Scarlett. Go ahead,
again.
Scarlett. Stay it.
Yeah, because you always throw something in. Wait. Because the Gnostics found these scrolls, these old scrolls from Dead Sea and so on. But what really was said by Jesus, well, the Gnostics
Mhm.
know only through others. You know what I mean? And that's what you said too. It was written again and again and again
Mhm.
and given to other people by
Yep.
mouth and by writings. And so that is because the message got wrong to mankind.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
thing.
Right, but so what did you say about Jesus? Because I need to make that clear because I don't like to use the term that name Jesus on my video. Because
Why?
remember, Jesus does not exist, not per se, not really.
But Jesus
Jesus,
is the Holy Ghost, or isn't it?
Well, the original name is Jeshua.
Yeshua.
Yeshua is really the son of Yahweh, and
Yahweh is God. Who is Yahweh?
Yahweh is Brahma,
Who is Brahma?
the creator.
The creator. Okay, good.
Right.
And Yeshua is what?
Is
What?
Yahweh's son.
Yes, Yahweh's son. Okay, and well, these people around Yeshua, how do you call them then? The Catholics and the Protestants call them apostle. How are they called?
Do we even know that they exist? They truly exist until you know that they really exist. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. Does some of them exist? I
Yes,
truly
yes.
believe they do. Does all of them exist? I'm not sure because when you find it in the Bible, there was followers of Jesus Christ. Well, Jesus Christ is pretty much Lucifer himself.
Why
So
do you say
when you say
Jesus
there was
Christ?
see, huh?
Jesus Christ in the Bible?
The Jesus story was made up. It's a made up story. It's a story
Ah,
to
okay.
keep you locked in religion and keep you
Yes.
under that control.
Ah, okay. I see. And you say that? Well, that's the thing. I ask myself too. Did these people really exist?
I do believe that some of them existed, but do they really exist in the form and in the way that the Bible has put them in? Now I know, I know, I'm sure that maybe John or Peter, I'm sure they really was, real, and one way or another. But what they did, they took pretty much the story of Yeshua, the real stories of Yeshua, and then they put them in the Bible, in the story of Jesus Christ, and added things in there, So they
Yes,
kind of
yes.
made it, yeah, because the real Jesus, that if you would proclaim the real one, that would have been, it would be Marduk, which is
Marduk.
the son of Enki,
Yeah.
which turned on his father and went with his uncle Enlil and lived with him and went in their direction, you know, in their guidance. But it's so much tied in. When you tying up timelines, you gotta always keep those timelines tied in to all of the mythologies, and there's many of them, because
Good.
at the end of the day, you must end back up to the head where everything begins, and then nothing is lost. But if you don't go back to the head, you lose your information. So Enlil would be Zeus. See?
Yes,
And
and
yeah,
he is
and
Poseidon.
then Enki is Poseidon,
Yes.
right? And they go on and on. So then when it comes down to Moses and Abraham, they were part of the Anunnakis, and Moses was Enki's son, but Abraham was like a CIA of the Anunnakis.
Yes, I read something
And he's
about.
the one, yeah, and he's the one started up all the churches, you know, and started setting them in promotions. So it's a lot, it's so much history that has to be tied in to the today's now.
Well, it just occurred to me is like, now I gotta find out the origin of Judaism, which is actually the
Judaism.
founding name for the Jewish movement that's over out in the east part of the planet
Right,
itself,
see?
in Africa itself. So, because being that's the grandfather in the sense of the quote unquote Christianity movement, and it was never even named Christianity. It only came much later, way beyond even,
Exactly.
in a sense, the Acts time. And per my recall of the Catholic teachings itself, when Joshua claimed to Peter to be the intense leader of a church, being the people, not the structure. Structures were then came later on, much later on. But the people, during the corrupt government, even after Joshua's death, technically, never really died. It was just a sacrifice for himself in order to actually free humanity from the tyranny of sin, as was labeled, to free their consciousness from the complete, deceptions and corruptions surrounding them.
Right. He come there.
Controls.
He
freed that because he knew already too much attacks going on. And Creator was like saying, look, I'm going to destroy this planet unless you do something. Well, then I have an idea. I'll put somebody on the planet, have him get born, have him then teach actual truth, but their minds are too simplified to actually grasp it, so you can teach them like their children, despite the age they may have. Because their mentalities are so mature, and they follow a doctrine of the Judaism itself.
Yeah,
so it's kind of misleading for them.
It's not the same.
Because they use a lot of traditions, a lot of practices that were so repetitive, traditional, that it misled them a lot.
Who was this?
Well, Creator, labeled as God the Father,
you mean
decided
Yahweh,
instead of oblivionizing humanity, hence the Israelites and the rest, who actually were misled so much, and a corrupt, what was it? Oh gosh, what are the soldiers called? Crap, I forget.
But so
the Greek soldiers and so forth were actually more on a government level and political.
Right.
Those who are Jewish are more traditional and religious based.
Right, but that is what you've been taught, been indoctrinated.
I'm just talking about what's been read from what's written in the Bible regarding how things transition.
That's what you've been, right. You've been indoctrinated to believe that, but not the educated.
Oh, no, I don't believe it any longer. I'm just stating from what I remember being taught, but I questioned a lot of it because a lot of things didn't make sense to me. I'm like, well, then what happened to the gap of about 18 years by the gentleman you labeled as Jesus, later on being called Jesus Christ by Peter? that he comes back at the age of 30. He was gone for 20 years.
Exactly. And then in the teaching in the church, they'll say, well, that's just part of his life that they didn't want you to know. Well,
I didn't accept that answer at all. That to me was
exactly.
not justified. I was like, that is not going to answer me. Gnostics explained it. He went to the Eastern cultures, India and so forth, and Gnostics explains it. I didn't find the verses, but he did learn about meditation, spirituality, not religion, spirituality, enlightenment.
Exactly.
And that's what the Gnostics did actually support that, because that's what actually happened. Now, a lot of Christians are going to go against this, like, oh, no, that's, why would you dare say something like that? It's like, heresy. I'm like, heresy?
But what is Christian?
It's just truth. They tell me it's heresy. I'm like, that's not heresy at all. That's fact.
Exactly.
Joshua did go learn about his abilities and true essence of his abilities to what he can do, because he was ill knowledge because of a child. It would make sense to me. Hell, I'd be like, yeah, teach me. What am I supposed to be able to do? Oh, raise the dead, heal people, be able to communicate with the universe. Oh my gosh, seriously? And they consider that bad. I'm like, that's actually above you then. If you think it's bad, you're wrong.
Well, they only consider it bad because what is a Christian? Christian is only a follower of Christ. Who is Christ?
And on top of that, saying that because he can expel demons, he must be a demon. Like, and then he answered perfectly. How can a demon expel a demon? That doesn't happen. It cracked me up. Like, really? You're going to argue with a dude who's not at all negative. You're negative, and he uses a method with enlightenment to expel someone who's gotten bad energy, very low. Obviously, it's a good thing. Come on, get rid of the bad energy.
I heard that the book of Enoch, the one that's of
I heard
Enoch.
about that book too. Yes, the book of Enoch.
Okay, so you can get that. You can get that online and everywhere. But that's
I think I downloaded it.
That particular book's supposed to have the full story in it, and that's a lot of the things that's missing.
It's not small. It's a big book.
Exactly. But you can get it online, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's freely available. You're correct.
Exactly, but then you got to consider what is small. It is as far as to your transitioning.
Yes.
So yeah, see, so nothing is really small when it comes to your transitioning to.
No, it's just a matter of being re-educated, as I would label it as, to be honest, because it's just relearning what you already know.
No, what you already know is indoctrinated. What you.
I'm talking about as far as like opening up, because the fact that being distracted by the religious factors, that distracts me from what I had known, but they distracted me with their rules. I'm like, yeah, your rules suck. I'm sorry. They don't apply. And that's when I was like, something does not add up here. And that's when I was starting to question. My father was impressed with me. He's like, why are you so questionable and so inquiry? He's like, because things don't make sense, dude. What do you want? I mean, come on. By chronology, this is not making any damn sense at all, honestly.
And you coming straight in from out of the clouds. They like, what is that?
Oh man, he was like, this kid's got some brightness. I'm like, duh. I never told him, or my mother, I do it to my mother more recently. My father never knew about my experience prior to birth. I never explained the story.
Right.
I never had. I don't think I needed to.
No, you didn't. So it's no necessarily now, because now he should know.
Oh, now I'm transparent to him completely now. My father loves me more than ever because he sees. Now I understand why you thought that way. I'm like, duh. Because I was that way, critical thinking all the time. I mean, some things didn't add up. And now he understands, like, you are a bright child. Keep learning. Keep asking questions. Nothing wrong with it.
Yes, that's another thing that I trip up with too. And I haven't did my research. Research is like crazy. Okay,
so no, research is going to be ongoing, honey.
In order to research, you got to be very devoted. So
I think I've been devoting to it without expecting to, and it just happens by nature for me. It's just an instinct, more now than before. Back then, I was like hardcore, but no one understood me. People thought I was nuts. I'm like, I'm not nuts. I'm just questioning a lot.
They shouldn't.
Nobody's answering me is my problem. That was what pissed me off. My father liked it, but he did not answer.
How can a lie understand the truth? Really? You know what I'm saying?
I love you, Shiva.
It's true.
Facts are facts. Come on.
Exactly. So the thing is that I was gonna say, like, research, like I said, is really crazy. But when you define, see, because here's the thing I have with and everyone that knows me know I don't acknowledge father, mother, brother, sister. I don't acknowledge it at all because I know I'm not, and I know you're not. So when I use the word father, I'm careful to think of that in that term. Why? Because when they thought that the Catholics was wrong when they said purgatory was right here, and the Catholics wasn't wrong because the Catholic was right, because everything started in the Catholic anyway. So they had the lies and the truth, and they put the truth out there, they put the lie out there. It's how you interpret it and how you accepted it, or whatever way you want to say, or question it. People never did. So they said, they call everyone, it's my, they call it father, father, everything is father.
Right.
Okay. Well, does that really imply in the way they acknowledge it? I say yes. In a lot of ways it does. Yet more so in the cosmos rather than in the earthly realms, that I would acknowledge something as my father, because the creator being before Yahweh is Brahma in Yahweh form, but in Yahweh form he more was in the ego form of himself, because he enjoyed the praises in the worshiping, and he was keeping the people in the program mind to continue to worship and praise.
Well, under the structure itself, pretty much, I think, as we're trying to state.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the structure is very, very rigid that I grew up in, and there's so many things in it to me. I was like, yeah, something ain't adding up. And I just remembered now the Episcopalians are kind of parallel with the Catholic movement itself. But I don't know is only Catholic tradition refers to purgatory, unless Episcopalians also support the same ideal.
There you go.
I'll find because purgatory, I think it's just a different dimension completely. Yeah, and with that idea, which makes logical sense to me, very good example of this, and you made a good point. Purgatory can be present reality that we have, because the fact that, say, because I'm going through transition, say a person might be going through purgatory because they were an alcoholic, drug addict, and now they're cleansing themselves, purifying their body to detox all of that. Like I did detox myself from alcohol.
Yes, exactly.
So that's a form of purgatory, because purgatory is a purging.
Yes,
negativity.
Exactly.
Letting in the love, positivity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a cleansing of all of the goss, I would say goss, from the world of hell, what you have implanted in your life. Ourselves. Yeah, as you lived
poor choices,
in the dark,
decisions, and experiences, right?
Yeah, and as you lived in the darkness, right? And you got those 7 deadly sins that you must overcome, which is those roots. They are roots.
Yes.
So and as you leave off of those 7 deadly sins, and you come away from them, and you continue to release that, you coming into purgatory to finish purging it out completely. Every like all the little branches and all the little that's inside of it. The tree.
Agreed.
Yeah, because what about this? What about it's always talked about the sins of the fathers.
I love that one. Oh my God, they
use
that in Catholic Church
exactly.
So much.
But see, here's the trip. The trip up with that is there is no sin. Sin does not exist. But the word itself has been taken out of content. I put it that way. I can't remember, because my mind has got so many things going in there. Where does it implies that, because the word itself,
the term itself definitely has an origin. I agree. And it has to be broken down to find its root. I agree.
Right, but I forgot it comes out of something else, but it's not. We don't have sin. There's no such thing as sin.
But it's translated different from I think either Hebrew or Greek terminology that has been discovered, and then maybe in Sanskrit too.
Yeah, it's a word it's a word I can't remember that it comes out from, and that the true word that apply, okay?
Right.
But it's not sin itself. Huh?
You mean
It really could go back and apply to the Sanskrit, but I have to research on that. I won't stand on it right now because I have to know. Just like Yeshua is the hardest thing it is to define and to research Yeshua and to find the true origin of where he first began and where he's at to the end is the hardest subject to research.
Yeah, not on the internet. Internet's not going to have very accurate depiction.
Well, it will now because now the truth is being revealed. So the internet is only implanted with knowledge that is allowed to be brought in. See what I'm saying? So that the white hats or the galactics are in control of the internet now. So now the truth is being brought wide open so that you will know what is the truth and the lie. There you go. So they're going to put a big library on the planet so that every truth that is will be in there, you know.
Right. And I just found a link here, which you probably see me looking up.
Yeah,
actually, the term actually, was it shite or shayat, however it's pronounced? It's a Hebrew term. I never heard of that one before.
Yeah, see, and I can guarantee you by the time you get back, when you really get to the origin of it, if I'm not mistaken, where it's going to end, you're going to end up at is in hell, in the Dante Inferno somewhere.
I got Dante's Inferno, yeah, I'm downloaded from my computer to see it, and that really explains well regarding even the 7 deadly ones.
Right. See,
Envy, gluttony, lust, anger, and greed, and sloth.
Right.
So,
See,
the picture
so
of purgatory,
go back to the scene, huh?
the picture of purgatory itself was painted by Dante. You know, these all painting masters, and this is the imagination of purgatory. The Catholics and after them all people God. And this is a real amazing thing because one picture shows something and everybody thinks it is this way, that this is true. And
right.
Well, because
right.
repeated information given,
exactly.
that makes sense.
Exactly.
You're right.
Because how he painted the picture, but so now you as who you are today must unpaint the picture. You see?
yeah.
Yeah, you can't unsee this.
Right, but you must in order to bring it.
Because this kind of ideal definitely is Catholic based, it seems, more than anything else. Right,
but I mean to unpaint it from the reality that has been brought into you to believe that is like this when it's basically it's like what's within. It operates within the conscious of you. Yeah. Not out of the consciousness of you, you know what I'm saying? And they make it look like everyone is, is different, which they are, but they're not. Everyone is pretty much in purgatory.
Yeah, you nailed it there quite well. Everybody has their own depiction of what purgatory actually is, and then they just do their own ideal from it. And some people don't even believe that purgatory exists, but they define it indirectly.
Exactly. And that's the whole big
and then they ask me, I'm like, I can't only tell you the Catholic perspective that I was taught. That's about as far as my knowledge knows. But you could live purgatory presently, because if you're going through detoxing or you're changing your life, guess what? That's that's you making your personal choices. What are you going to say, Charlotte?
Yes, and you acknowledge what is wrong, and that is acknowledging what is wrong. Realize what is wrong, what is a fail, and what is not. What is it, what bothers you, and what is distracting you? You must acknowledge this to come out of the purgatory. And most people cannot see in themselves what is
big time
wrong.
Right, because if you think of purgatory as what it is, like I said, purgatory is like the quicksand. You're in quicksand.
Yes.
And in there is mercury. It's very mercury. So it's like, and so everything is like in a mirroring of itself, Yeah. And so in order to get out of there, you have to what they call a sink or swim or something. fight or flight, you know, fight or flight or something like that. But
You
yeah,
have to will to get out of it.
yeah, because once you start to move away from it and to dig yourself out, you must keep going, because if you don't, you'll get pulled back in, because there's ones that's still in there will pull you back in, because they, you know what I'm saying? So they'll hold you in there with them as long as you don't, you know, but in reality you have to see that happening, because it happens to me more than once. When it happens, then the higher show it to me. They goes, you see this? Because this is how it works. Now look, if you keep going this way, they'll keep you inside of this quicksand. They'll keep pulling you back in, because you see yourself going out of there. They see you going out. They don't want you to leave. So they will do whatever they can to pull you back in, not knowing consciously that that's what they're doing. And I'm not knowing consciously that's what they're doing. But when I see it, then I see it, and I know that's what is happening. So then you have to start cutting them loose and not have those ties to them. You have to leave them where they're at.
Yeah,
and you have to cut them loose.
These pictures are a very powerful instrument of the Church, of the Vatican, used to manipulate people. See, right. See how they're doing with the angel, but they got it as an angel, but it's just someone rising probably to the higher level of their conscious, and those want to keep them there. You know what I'm saying? Because they see you, they see the light in you, and they you know, they don't know that's what they're doing in one way, pulling you back, but they are, because, you know, come stay with us, you know, they want the light, you know. No, you're not, let me go. Yes, and these true pictures are always taken by the Church.
Exactly, but you can take, like I said, you can take the picture apart and make it the reality that it is.
Yeah.
You know what's missing in this picture, though?
By looking at the picture, you can kind of imagine it as being something within, and rather than without.
You know this painting is missing? You know what this painting is missing?
What is it?
It's missing humanity. It doesn't have Earth between the two realms.
Humanity? Yeah.
It doesn't show humanity. It shows, you know, bishops, clergy on the top part, you know, technically burning inferno down below, the angel in between. But then, okay, where's the rest of the population of the planet? It's not in there. It just goes top or bottom, nothing in the middle. In the middle, you see just the clouds, which when you just described about sand, well, that could be the beach right there you're being sucked into.
Above
you see the Mercury looking, but then I don't know what's got. It got so many different pictures. You would have to.
This picture to break it down from top to bottom.
Tarot card reader. The tarot card reader, you got to really go in there, you know, and dig it out, dig all the whatever in there is around it, because that's his imagination, and that's his, you know, his way of seeing it, and so he painted the picture for you.
Well, obviously the painting in this direction is probably Catholic regardless itself, and just omitted the part about humanity. I'm like, okay, where's the rest of the people?
Yeah, right. But you see a lot of them back there. See them back there in the hole with their heads.
What'd you say, Scarlett?
I said all the people, they are all in the pictures. They are all. That's that mess.
Are they in the gray?
But that's where we at. That's the gray. That's what it is. The gray is where we at now.
Gray. That's where we are, in the gray. Great.
Yeah. But that picture is not a good picture unless you can really open it up.
Obviously, well, it's not a picture; it's a painting. But I mean, just an imagery of the painting itself. But I mean, it definitely, and it comes from Wikipedia here. But there's always going to be. It seems like it is going to be predominantly the Catholic teaching itself, which is so messed up.
Take, for example, Dante's Inferno. Google it. It's a picture. Inferno by Dante.
Yes, right.
That's purgatory, as it is used by the Vatican, as it's used by the Catholics. This is purgatory.
I got the whole movie here, man, and thankfully it's animated. Not, you know, I think they're going to do possibly a different type. I have to find it if I do find it, but it really explains about Dante's Inferno.
No, you know.
It's not the right link. What is Dante's Inferno? This is the one I remember seeing. So this is like an animation part. Another one here is even longer.
with the
Go
red
to the
dot.
go to the Wikipedia right here. Let me see what it shows.
The Wikipedia doesn't have an
Yeah.
imagery, but this imagery is just the Christian mysticism. But
see, but you can always open it up more into other.
well, yeah, I get that, but I'm just stating that because this comes more from the Catholic perspective, no doubt.
Not Wikipedia.
Well, no, yes, Wikipedia is stating it as because the Dante's direction is of the Roman Catholic.
Right, but I'm saying it doesn't.
It doesn't literally say that,
but you got to tie in all the
other parts.
Yeah, you got to tie everything in. See,
This is like 13th century, man. I mean, this is.
But you see all the blue words? That's your tie-in. That's how you do your research. You got to tie them in.
Oh my gosh, they brought in the divine comedy. Oh my God, this is not fair.
Yeah, the divine comedy. I was studying on that just recently because it's a part of it.
Oh my gosh, man, that's not fair. That's horrible. That's too much.
But see how they did that? Yeah, exactly.
By the way, Scarlet, you're only here for another half hour before you have to get going.
And here's the problem. I can't see why would it be named divine comedy? You see, that's an issue that I'm looking at.
But they consider the terminology as divinity.
But then you got to
want to find out what does that mean.
You got to break down divinity. You got to break down divine because listen, you know there's a divine because there is a divine, prime, divine, and creator. So and divine is your divider. It's dividing in itself. But so you need to break all of it because why would they put it in like that? See?
Man, they really grave crap in my head. The ego sucks when it comes to the Catholic Church because they put the ego aside. Like, no, just take this and accept it. I'm like, what? I can't just accept. I question things. Come on.
That's why I love Wikipedia because Wikipedia gives you all of the ties that you need.
About divine.
It gives you all the ties you need, and then you can.
There's another term, limbo. Really? Oh
yeah. There you go.
Yes, in German it's called limbus. It's the Latin word in German too, limbus.
And it says the first circle. See?
Oh man.
And then look,
I need a drink.
Then they got Cantu. Listen, they got Cantu in there, and look, the girl that Yeshua was married to here, her last name is Cantu.
Wow.
Wow.
Come on, Shiva, be nice, sweetheart. Don't be so hard on me.
I told you, I said, look there, her name is Cantu in here.
And look, you just mentioned about Moses and Abraham. Here they are. Adam, the main father, then Abel, then Noah, then Moses.
See? And you're talking about purgatory now. You're dealing with purgatory, and there the names appear, and you keep going. See, those are this is why I like the computer because you can tie in everything right here. And you start clicking on those blue words, you'll never get out.
Yes,
I got to take a break.
Hours for it.
See there, look, there's Marco, whatever his damn name is. But yeah, see, and I love Wikipedia because it gives you the whole.
Well, almost the whole.
Once you tie in those words, you'll get there. Trust me.
I probably have to take breaks every 5 minutes just to kind of like, okay, let me get that one broken down now.
Words
Zeno's in here.
Yeah, see? Look at that.
Yeah.
Who is this here? Let me see. Who is Zenos?
Was a Hellenistic philosopher of the Phoenician origin of Citium, Cyphus. No, Cyprus. Sorry, Cyprus. I got pronouncing these things kills me because all this Greek stuff I lose.
Taught in Athenians,
and
right?
Zeno was the founder of the Stoic school of philosophy.
And see, and if it started with a Z, I guarantee you it connects back to Zeus.
Yeah.
And this is all 300 BC. Oh crap.
Right. Right. So he
Stoicism. Oh crap, man! Come on, this hurts.
he connects back to Zeus. I guarantee you he does.
Oh,
and then,
here we go. Here's my bowl right now. Aristotle, in the book that I remember reading of, what was it called, Joe? Come on.
Happily, Göttliche Komödie. It's called.
I'm thinking of a more recent book that Dan Millman wrote. Oh crap! I forgot the name of the darn book. How can I forget? The Peaceful Warrior.
See, look at the second
Peaceful
circle.
Warrior used Aristotle because the guy in the gas station, he dubbed him as Aristotle.
So what I see the second circle says lust. But so why is limbo? What would limbo be then?
Limbo?
Limbo is the circle itself. It's called the.
But I mean, in the second circle, you got lust in there, which is one of the deadly sins, right?
Yes,
That was my
yes.
phone. It ain't my phone.
Well, you're sure calling me. What is stop?
Shiva, you got too much going on in electronics over there, honey.
Yes, I tell him I'm at a meeting.
This free call, press 1.
You
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
you sure? I told you I was in a meeting. Huh? What? You sure? You're sure? You supposed to be the leader, not the Okay, then that's what you do. You be the leader, not the what they call it. Yeah, exactly. So
don't follow the lead.
I told you I was in a meeting and you called me. Why? Then grow up. Remember.
Love you, buddy.
And say he love you. Yes.
That's Nightwing saying he loves you, and so does Scarlet.
Boy, I tell you, you can't get away.
Dude, come on, straighten up your act.
Give me a life. Give me a life. Give me a life. Woo. See,
how is he doing? Sounds like he's still kind of screwed up.
Yes,
well, he is, because it's not really he screwed up. He still is, but he got to get on track, and he
Well, get back on
right
track,
now,
buddy. Come on, Zeus, get your butt in the lines again. Come on.
Yeah, get it figured out, and that's why they keep messing with him, because they have to do that in order for him to see out from the dark into the light, because you're in the dark.
If that boy would start just reaching out to me, he wouldn't go through all this crap.
Yeah, and
he doesn't reach out to his brother. I mean, come on. I'm not Nightwing for no reason.
There you go, exactly, and so you.
So I haven't contacted him in gosh, what, about maybe 2 months, because he's been incognito himself.
I told him put ego aside. Ego is no good for you. He's no good for nobody. Put him aside.
I would bring him back.
He keep you all screwed up.
If he actually distracted me too much, yes, I would block him. But if beyond that, if he did need help, it's not like we don't have a collective. Come on, hello.
Exactly. But if you want to keep ego running your life and you're not allowing your
he's allowing ego distracting too much.
No, he's not. Because the ego ain't supposed to be running nothing.
I know it's not, but he's allowing it still.
That's what I'm saying. He allowing.
That's what I'm saying. If he gets back to the collective of light, he's gonna be fine. He's still distracted.
Because when I tell he's starting to hear it now, but before when I tell him, you're not all the way awake. You think you are, but you're not. And I said, and he goes, I don't have no more pride. I said, boy, excuse me, hello. What do you think pride comes from?
Oh man, is he such a double talker, dude? Clear out your brain. Get out of there. Go to your heart. That's where the light is. Always has been.
Yeah,
he knows this. He knows this.
But to get there and knowing and not doing is two things. Right?
I think he and I got to talk again badly. He is like
really
over
bad,
needing
really
to
bad.
Talk to me again.
Yes, for real.
I'll work with it. I'll try. He doesn't answer my calls. That's why I stopped.
Well, don't say you try. Say you'll continue to consist until you get through.
I'm gonna keep working on it with him, because I mean I gotta get that boy back in.
I mean, after all, yes, he was on high 9, then he fell off, and who knows? That
boy has dropped so much in his frequency. Ugh.
Because he didn't. I told him, I said, see, when I came in here and they locked me in, I had to make that transformation, and when I made that transformation, I went into a higher level, and I told him that, but he never finished his transformation.
But the problem was he wasn't listening.
Exactly.
The mind was so closed, you were realizing, you're like, get the fuck out.
you got to finish those transformations, otherwise you're going to be stuck right there where you're at.
I mean, I understand the necessity and desire in order to connect with you, but when the frequency is so low, I think it was getting you physically ill that you couldn't handle it anymore. It's like, you have to get out. No offense. Like, I do love you, but you have to get out, because you're really killing me right now. I am physically going to puke on you if you don't get out of here. I mean, you were almost nearly that ill. That's how bad you got. Because even the devices are bad enough for you. But when he
Oh,
came
wait a
in
minute.
many
Oh.
times, you told me about it. Even when he was
Yeah.
knocking on your door, you felt it
Huh?
outside the door.
Say what again?
You told me that he's at the door knocking and yelling at you through the door, and you felt the energy so low that you were actually, and you were talking with me, you basically screamed at him, get out, leave. Because you didn't know what he wanted. I think he needed something in the garage or whatever. Something stupid.
Yeah.
And
It's
the
always
energy was so
stupid.
low,
Yeah.
you couldn't handle it.
It's always stupid.
Because you were trying to regroup badly. And then you had to let me go because it's like, I had to let you go because I am really right now hurting. And you were hurting bad. On top of the devices. It was also him coming by the house. I remember that.
Yes.
So it seems like he's getting a little bit better. Like he's starting to, but he's struggling. I mean, I was able to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that too through his
You
voice.
heard it too?
Yeah. We were, honey, come on, we're sensitive to it. Just as you are.
Yeah.
He's working on it, but he's got to really let go of that crap.
Because he's too busy. He's too busy looking out of the eyes of the snake. Get out of the eyes of the snake.
Granted, makes
Yeah,
sense.
right. Yeah, and look through your heart. So
Why do you think we're us three are talking more now? Because we're energizing each other, lifting each other up higher in our consciousness.
And that's where
And I
it should
think
be.
it's starting to probably influence or assist even him and others. The group the group this week surprised me. Lulu came back. Who was the other one that came back and started?
The boy started with a P.
I
think.
Yeah, because actually, with you, Scarlet, you had an interaction, which was actually cool. I mean, I was at work, but I still responded because Lulu loved us.
Yes,
We
Lulu.
just got to interact more.
They have, and so that's the reason why I was writing. It's good to read you again.
Exactly.
Because I hope that they will join us in our meetings because I think they want to. But I don't know why they are doing.
Where's Lulu?
She's still around, but she does go into other groups.
No, man. Like what time frame?
Oh, she is is it Puerto Rican? Puerto Rico, I think. Puerto Rico, yeah.
In my time frame in Eastern? Okay.
Well, I forgot. It's like Republican or something like that. That's what she had. Somewhere
because Lulu is actually a 5-4 country code. So 5-4 is actually not of Puerto Rico. That's actually over more in Europe itself. It might be actually in your time frame, Scarlet. Probably.
Really?
Germany is 4. Germany is 4. And if it's a 5, it may be Belgium or Netherlands or Austria. I'm not sure about it. I have to look for it.
Next time, the following meeting for next week.
I was thinking.
According to Scarlet, I don't know if you saw it, Shiva. Saturday she can't. Can we do it Sunday next week?
Yeah. Yes, because yes,
21st.
Yeah, okay. Because on Saturday we got a nice invitation for some people we didn't see the last time Christmas last year.
Oh, okay.
And, yes, and they invited us because they have a new flat, a new house, and they want to show us.
Beautiful.
And so I would be very happy to go there. And,
absolutely.
And so happy to see us again. And so.
So we'll kind of plan it by ear on Sunday, the 21st, for that meeting itself, and go and aim for the same time frame if you like.
Yes. With you, if you agree with it, I'm
open. I'm open. I mean, Shiva, I don't know how you feel about the 10 a.m. for you.
Where at Sunday?
Yes, for Sunday 21st.
Oh, yeah, that's okay for me on Sundays too.
Okay. So we'll plan it for that week as well. And we can continue on with these kind of topics because honestly, with this kind of information of the spirituality, and I'll push out in the general group of the Family of Light, invitation there in hopes that somebody responds, not just us three alone.
So what was that? Oh, you mean for the group?
Because I want these meetings to grow, not just us three.
Exactly.
I don't mind hosting it. Just want to make sure that we get more people coming in. Because as I promote this more, these videos, it helps more to also enlighten them.
Absolutely. Because we learn so much from each other.
Of course.
And we have so much to give and to share.
We're barely
And
scratching the surface of how much information is available to actually explain.
Oh my gosh, yes. I tell you, I'm having such a hard time because I'm dealing with the world laws and things on the planet that we all are fighting against, and
Yep.
turn down what do you call structures of destructions that has been on the planet. So I'm working with that. Then I do my studies and you know, and I'm like,
well, the thing I've been
of,
realizing to define this, from my perspective, is that the looting and rioting is basically, and it's actually correct, despite the fact that the law defined by humanity here is really off charts, and thinking they can kill people. I'm like, you're not supposed to kill. You're not supposed to really do harm. You're not doctors, but you're not supposed to destroy. And people are just venting and enraged, justifiably, because they're tired of being controlled, tired of being manipulated, and tired of being lied to. That's all they're doing. Let them vent. I agree they should not do destruction. I agree with that. Not burning, destroying, or killing. No. But to be shot.
But when you let a mind loose that has not been educated and only been indoctrinated, what do you expect? You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been going on for what, hundreds of years.
Something that you've had caged up for who knows how long. What do you expect?
Of course.
So a lot of things, but a lot of things that is happening when you find things like that, most of it happens because the cabal, dark side, has paid it off for it to happen. They paid for it to happen.
And they think they're still winning. I'm like, you lost because we're done with you.
But yeah. But one thing is created for, and then another thing happens from that created.
No, and then you know what's even worse about this? The demonstrations or the what was it? I guess meetings they had, especially in Washington. I saw one video this week in the evening. One guy alone, and he was being videoed. I'm like, why video the guy? Why don't you help him? He was cleaning up the streets of all the garbage. After these events of people, you know, protesting, cleaning up, you know, the bottles and plastics and all the garbage in the streets. I'm like, okay, you people gotta learn. The streets are gonna be cleaned for you. Be an adult, mature, and throw away the stuff in the garbage cans. Why should you let somebody else pick up your mess when you should just throw it away there in the first place? We cause this stuff.
But they're not going to think like that, you know.
No. I thought that way, and I posted, instead of them cleaning up for you, why don't you clean up after yourself? That's why I posted. Clean up like an adult, because you're adults.
But when you're in a mind state like that, you're not.
They don't care about that, right?
Exactly. And so the thing is that you got to keep in mind that all that is happening has already been in plan.
Well, this is all orchestrated, I agree. Yeah, it's all been pre-planned. Yeah, true.
It has already been in plan, so it's just being carried out. But one thing is being done, so another thing can come in or could happen.
This is going in stages, and some businesses still think, "Oh, this will be over soon." I'm like, "Yeah, don't hold your breath." This pandemic has gone on for long term. I'm sorry. This is a new living.
It will. The more people get involved to bring in peace in the middle of chaos, and because chaos been
created. That's why we are here to try and bring in more of this light part to get them to be more aware. And it's working, but slow.
Yes.
It's slow. We have to be patient but diligent.
Yeah, like my videos, I'm kind of get disappointed when I go in there and I don't see nobody.
I don't doubt you were.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got a strong message, of course, and there ain't too many ready to accept it, I'm sure.
Yep.
But I like to see it move a little more, you know.
Well, we're moving more. We just got, I mean, these meetings are actually more effective. And I am going to promote it further for people to invite them in. Come on in, talk, ask questions, please.
Yes.
You need more questions because the questions you ask means you have a mind that's open and wanting actual facts versus
when we
the
can go
bullshit you've
online.
been hearing all these years.
So we need to go online one time on Facebook plus here, you know.
Well, yeah, Facebook Live will do.
Yes.
This goes on YouTube every time on your channel, my channel.
Right.
So that way it gets promoted more and more. I haven't looked at yours recently from everyone, but I don't know how many actual visuals or people seeing them.
Right.
Views, because the views, even from these, even they're a little bit long, but it's got to grow. Those views are really small. I mean, even the most recent one from last week, Not one view. Not one.
But I noticed that. But why? Can they view
because
it?
you have to give it has to be shared more to get views.
Oh, okay. Once they view it.
When it's shared, people then will have curiosity, though it's very long. Hopefully they will see, the thing is making it engaging.
Are they viewing it if they view it on my channel, does that count still?
As long as all they gotta do is click on the link to actually view it. And if the video gains over 10 seconds of viewing to even over a minute, that's a good sign, because you'll see it actually on the channel, how many views you've got. So the last two weren't even seen.
So I'm thinking, because maybe the picture, maybe we need to change the front, the picture, and maybe can you make it so they can see see us there in the meeting, and maybe they'll click on it more, faster.
Well, it's just got to be shared more. I mean, that's why you have to leverage the Facebook probably more.
But I'm saying without that picture on it, maybe they'll look.
It's not about the picture on it. It's regarding the link for the video itself. It's got to be promoted. In other words, marketed. Yes,
but listen to me. What I'm saying is that if someone, like for instance, when I'm scrolling through my subscriptions, my videos, and I see a meeting going on with someone that I'm recognized of, like what's her name, Majestic Pixie. I like her, but her voice is just crazy as hell. But because she's some kind of Irish, and who never knows. But when I see those groups, when I see the picture, then I'll pick up their video because I want to hear what they got to say. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't see that, a lot of times I won't pick it up.
Yeah, the thing is, your channel needs to grab a little more subscriptions without question, and a lot more viewings.
Well,
I've been pushing it. I've been pushing the channel. You've seen me before pushing it.
Yeah, like
it's not getting us subscribers. I mean, right now the channel's got how many subscribers? 21.
And so how do we get more subscribers?
Promoting.
How do you promote it?
Promoting.
Social media.
And how is that?
I mean, you got to get on your Facebook and start taking your channel and promoting it out there.
I don't really have a Facebook. I mean, I have it, but I don't really use it.
You got to use it.
I don't.
If you have it, abuse it.
Yeah, but I don't really use it. And then on
that's
top
the
of
problem.
that,
See, if you don't use it, how do you expect to then get actual subscribers? Nobody knows.
Because I have given all the ones to my like my friend people, whatever they are. I have put the on my channel on their pages.
Okay.
So I've done that. I've sent them to them.
Yeah, because the one video, the first one with the 12 chakras, that's got 7 views.
Yes.
But these most recent ones, nothing.
Yeah, I think it's just going to take time to take off, because the higher ups know how to get it going. They'll make it move. I'll
probably give you direction how to get it moving.
I'll keep putting energy on it, and say, look, I need these people to come on in, I need to get views, get it moving for me.
If Zeus has got more followers and all that, then heck, dude, leverage.
But see, then here it again, the other problem that I'm having here is that because my message is very high. And these brains out here is not very high at all. They
will help them.
Help them. They can't even understand it. Please, excuse me. If they talk to me in person, they couldn't understand me. Really, I mean, because when I don't even go out there because their brain is too locked, and I'm like, what? I can't deal with them. I really.
Well, that's the modification you've asked me to do to change my mind, which is why I'm still, with you and all, because the fact that my mind did open after questioning in my heart. When I opened my heart up more,
there you go.
It started to actually go. It's just how the approach is. It's all in the approach of the actual message. If the approach is too aggressive, well, then you may have to lower it slightly, just that way they can get it.
No, their hearts need to open. If your heart is open, you'll get it. But your heart got to be open. If you're not open to find,
it's like the statement you said. You can lead the horse to water, but they're not going to drink until they feel safe.
And if you're not open to find the truth, to find yourself, then how you going to be open to? You know what I'm saying?
That's why they're all stuck in that bad loop.
There you go. You want to continue living a lie.
I was not any different. Do you remember that? My sister was the only one that actually opened my heart up because she offered it. She didn't force it. She introduced the idea. She's like, you got to open your heart. And I go, what the hell are you talking about? She's like, You're a passionate individual. You have a big heart. The problem is your brain's distracted you too much because your ego screwed you over. When I heard that, I'm like, what the hell? Then at that point, because of the fact that I started to love myself and I had a break because I'm not working. She's like, now you got a break. Take advantage of a time. And then she explained, do these things. When you do it, you're going to understand what I'm saying. It's going to hurt, but that's part of the process. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, you're not going to like it. It's not going to be pleasant, but it's part of why it's pleasant.
Let me hear what. Go ahead, Charlotte. Go ahead, Scarlett.
That's the thing. Maybe people fear they can hear something they can't handle. But this is not what we are doing. We are doing it in a very comfort way, I think. It's a very comfort, it's a soft and smooth way. We are going to share enlightenment and what we experience in what we are researching for. We are doing a live research. And this is so interesting. I cannot believe that there are people out there who can say, oh no, that's boring. I cannot believe this, because this is live research.
Yes, exactly. And we're bringing the truth to them, in front of their lives and exposing it and letting them see the difference.
And you explained it very well last time, Shiva. In the last meeting, you described regarding Barbara's practice in the Baptist church. That knowledge that you gained already or knew about from that experience helped you to see, is like, okay, now I understand why that was misleading and why now Barbara is like probably more awake to the point where Shiva already been awake, educated, and is like, this is actually what's really going on. Not what you saw there. Very big difference.
Barbara woke up. Yeah, Barbara woke up so that I could come into the body.
Well, think of that direction.
But she was
it that Barbara was not awake, did wake up.
Barbara didn't wake up.
Same thing happened to me. Same thing happened to Scarlett. Others are they're like basically newborns. They don't understand, and then they're afraid, and they're actually not understanding that because the compassion was never really given to them.
You are a newborn.
I mean, look at me. I didn't even get breastfed when I was a baby.
No, a lot of babies not being breastfed.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying being premature and not non-breastfed, but I was aware. I just got then lied to after that because I got grown into the Catholic Church, but I still had questions in my mind. I just didn't share it because I couldn't get the answers. And that's why I got kind of pissy with people around me. That's why I think you're so negative. I'm like, I'm negative. Y'all pushed it on me to be negative.
Yes.
I was that way, not on purpose. It was because it was, pushed onto me. We expect cause effect. Hello, this is cause and effect.
Right. Yes. Well,
and that's what a lot of the population here is going through. It frustrates us, yes. And they may not even understand or accept, but we still share it in a loving way. And that's the point. Share it in a loving way to be inviting. Joshua did it always that way. He never forced. Joshua never forced it. Always invited. If you have a question, I have an answer for you. That's what happened. Even with elders, biblically written that Joseph, not the one that was the father, adopted father, another Joseph, elderly, was very curious. And then Joshua had a private conversation with him. Very wise man. Asked to him, all right, how do I find eternal life? Jesus said, you got to be born again. How can I come out of my mom's womb? Not in the way you're thinking. That's not the idea. I mean, open your heart. That's what he did. It wasn't written that way, but that's what Joshua was saying. Open your heart. You will see more answers that way. A wise old man asking a much wiser, what's the method of doing this to actually get to heaven or to reach enlightenment? Well, here's the way. Open your heart. Ignore this part. The brain is irrelevant. Ego sucks. It lies.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Well, being that Joseph or Jeremiah, I can't remember the name of the individual who spoke with him, partially asleep but beginning to get intuitive, questioned privately. And I love that conversation. I wish I was there to partake of it, experience that. I probably can if I focus my mind. I can in meditation to see that interaction, encounter between Joshua and that elderly man.
Joshua, an ugly man. What do you mean, ugly man?
In the New Testament itself, Jesus sat with an older man, probably in his 80s, asking questions regarding reaching heaven, because he started seeing the messages that Joshua was sharing with the community, with the disciples, apostles, whatever, regarding the method to reach heaven, to get to the Father. But questions are rising up. And then when Jesus or Joshua was walking along, that man came around, sat with him. It was a very calm, peaceful, loving conversation of an encounter that he questioned Joshua, what's the method of this? And there were great questions, very deep, actually. But to Joshua, it was simple. He didn't make anything complex, thankfully. And that man was actually very wise to ask, like I had when I was a kid. My father couldn't answer me very well because of the fact it was mysterious how I became so intuitive. Like, dude, I've had this for a long time. Just the problem is that what they're teaching in that school makes no sense.
Yes.
I'm not really traditional. Well, same thing with this guy. He was Jewish, but so what? Joshua was too. But Joshua is also more enlightened. Joshua woke up from that.
No, don't say that. Don't say that, because
what he's referring to is biblically written. Biblically written.
Biblically written, we turn down biblically written because
I understand. I'm just explaining, but the story itself from the Bible itself explains it. I just took it at a higher level.
But it does not say Yeshua, so don't say Yeshua was
I understand.
Jewish.
Jesus was basically seeing a guy who was also of Jewish upbringing.
No,
Jesus was.
Either way, I want you to not speak on those ways that's been brought in. That is not true. They're lies until you know what is true. Because first of all, Jews are not even Jews as they say they are. Palestinians is just Jewish. That's who Jews are. The real Jews, the Jews over there in Israel, those are not Jews. They lied to you. Then Israel was created. Trust me. So you got, all this is so screwed up. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So do we have the real Jews? No, not them. But the real owners exist, but they're not called Jews. So the Bible will have you effed up in the brain if you don't figure it out what is and what isn't.
I'm only using it as a reference. I didn't say what I believed. I'm only stating from the reference point.
I know, but listen to me. This is going live, and if you said
it is live, so
right, but it's going to go out public. And if you say these things, I am working to dismantle the beliefs that they have. So I don't want them to, to continue to believe what it is and that it isn't. So
that was not the intention I actually had at all.
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't. I know that. But I'm just saying, if I talk about it like it is so, then they will take it.
No, I wasn't saying like it is so. Just using an experience that I read that actually was kind of cool regarding just inquiring to try and understand is what the point I was trying to. That was my focus. My focus was not on the actual experience.
That would be
that is probably not even real, but it does prove a good point. Meaning is what my actual intention was. The meaning behind it. Actually having questions regarding the method of getting enlightened. That was the point.
Okay, yes. Go ahead, Scarlett.
Yes, and I know what you meant with this, but if we discuss such things, that would be more weird to the people, because the point that it is that they are lying, and we don't want to bring the lie up. We want to bring the truth up. And so these kind of things, these readings and all that's in the Bible, this will confuse the people more than it will help them to get to the light. And this is not the message we want to spread. Understand?
Right. So I mean, and I see your point, but I just want you, like, if you talk about certain things that like we know that is written in a lie, dismantle the lie and put the truth in there when you're speaking, so that it's not continue to be sown in the lie, because that's the way they're going to read it. Trust me. These people believe strongly in that Bible and in that God.
Some of them live it too much.
Yeah.
Huh?
Some of them live it too much.
Because they believe in it. And I said to them in my video, the difference is that beliefs and truth. Now, which one do you want? Do you want to have belief or do you want truth?
Yeah.
Because that's a big problem we have. I said, belief is a big word. But is that what you really want, is just belief, or do you really want truth?
And the thing that actually even makes it worse is that it's not even more about belief, but more about trust. They're trusting literally whatever the church tells them. I'm like, why are you going to blindly trust? Why don't you question like I do? I'm a critical thinker, so I can't trust everything just blindly. That means I'm going to question it because why? That is my big question. Why is this that way? Why is that way? Why is this written in that such a form? How do you know that did happen? How do you know it did not happen? You can't verify it because you weren't there. That's why I say myself when they're telling me something like, well, trust in this. Like, you don't mean trust when I don't really have true understanding. And that's why I'm questioning it.
Right. And so I say to them, here's the problem that is the Bible is not measured. What are you using to measure it by? You must have something to measure it up with. If you don't use the Bible to measure it by itself, you're not measuring it. So what do you use to measure this against or with? You got to get something
you're
to
shaking the
measure it by.
microphone, I think, honey. I can barely understand you.
Oh, say what happened?
You're shaking your hand so much that it starts to affect the mic.
All right. Yeah, I said, you must measure whatever your beliefs are, whatever you take into content. You must have something to measure it by. Other than that, you do not know whether it's true or lie. And the biggest and other problem is that most do not know that there's lies mixed with the truth.
Well, I can understand that. By the way, side note, I think Scarlet has to get going.
Yes. Apology. I have to take care for the rabbit now because he needs his penicillin.
Okay, honey. No problem. No,
okay.
We'll reconvene next Sunday.
Yes, we'll see us next Sunday. You both can discuss more and further. It's very interesting. I'm very sad that I have to leave now, but we see each other and hear each other next Sunday. And in between, we are riding anyway.
Exactly.
We what? Yeah. What'd she say?
I said we are riding anyway in the groups.
Yep.
And next Sunday. So I like to say, I love you very much.
Love you too, honey.
And have a nice day, both of you. I send you love and light, much love from me to you both.
Yes.
You too, sweetheart.
Love you.
Namaste, baby. Love you.
Yes, I'm telling them I'm having a problem. Yes.
We'll keep going, Shiva. We'll keep going.
Yeah, I'm just saying my thing right now that I'm having a problem with is just, it's not a problem. I'm trying to get it all sorted through, because what I'm starting to see here is that we got people that is wakening up, those that are not awakening, and then we got some that is wide awake, yeah. And all these different consciousness, because we have conscious, we have subconscious, we have preconscious, and we have unconscious. And I see that all these conscious
levels,
these levels are starting to sort of work, like bring in.
The thing is that we're breaking barriers.
Yeah, because
well, the thing is, and the other thing is also regarding consciousness itself. The one thing that we do have, thankfully, is the whole mind usage. The other deceiving part that's been described on a psychological bullshit, really, in my mind, is that we've all been lied to regarding as far as the usage of the mind. We have 100% ability to use our minds. It's not just 10% or 5%, whichever stupid percentage they state that's so small. No, we have full capacity, including subconscious to consciousness, to go higher.
Yes.
The subconscious can be reprogrammed because we've been full of so much crap, told, shared, explained, taught, whatever.
Right.
And it's all full of it.
Exactly. So
the heart, subconscious heart, has always had the utter truth.
Yes, exactly.
It's not judgmental, for one, does not judge. It receives and then uses what it receives. The conscious mind judges everything.
The conscious mind. Yes.
The mind is supposed to be awake when we're supposed to be, eyes open and technically conscious.
Yes.
It feeds the subconscious as well.
Yes, it does. Exactly.
Unfortunately, it receives everything.
The what?
Lies is receives everything, truth and lies, all deceptions and facts.
Yes, it will.
Constantly.
Exactly.
Fed in every manner. fed,
Then we got
given
a
to us by
preconscious.
what we hear, taste, and smell. The thing of difference is how we discern it or question to realize, okay, what does serve me? What does not serve me? And what gives the answer to that? The heart does. That does not serve you. We're going to let you know. You're not going to feel correct about it. And that's considered, in a sense, the quote unquote gut. The gut really is the chakras that tell us in our hearts, in our sacrum, and so forth, that's not going to work. It's a block, and it blocks it. So then when that chakra is blocked, what happens? It shrinks. It loses.
Which one is that you're talking about?
How the information we receive, how then the chakras respond to it, whether it serves or does not serve.
Yes.
So when it's truthful, full of light and love, the chakras wake up.
Yeah. Yep.
When it's a lie and deceiving, the chakras get blocked.
Get blocked. There you go. Exactly.
At that point then is when deception is like overwhelmed, that the chakras like, we're so blocked we can't even open up. And the heart closes up.
Yeah.
And then this is overwhelmed because then the center eye closes. This one, forget it. It doesn't know what to do because it's like completely prevented because, and then if people don't speak, the throat chakra closes up too.
Yes, exactly. And it
all connects with everything in history in the past. It's already been established. And like you said, it's all destined. The chakras are completely out of alignment in a lot of people. I mean, Joshua's his chakras, I can't even begin to think where his are.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh, Zeus is losing his mind. Poor dude.
Yes, he gotta fix it.
I'll work with what I can on him, but he's got to definitely be receiving to me. If he doesn't receive me, then I mean, little I can do. I open the door, he's got to walk through the door.
Yes.
I know you put it out there in the family. Come on, work with Joshua. Poor dude's losing his mind. I'm like, well, he's got to regain his heart, not the mind. The mind's fucking him over.
He's working on it.
It's going to come through. It's going to come through.
But you know what works with the mind is the ego.
Yes, and the ego is driving him nuts.
So that's what everyone must tame is the ego. You know, you gotta be able to tame it or get control of it and cause it to merge with the heart.
Correct.
And work with the feminine side of the.
What he's going through right now is what I went through last year. It sucked. It was horrible. Yes. It was horrible. I'm done with purgatory, even though I'm still going through it.
Yeah. When you start to see that and know that what you hold to in this world and in this life, which is through your ego, it is nothing of any substance that it can give you outside of what it is.
Agreed.
You can't bear fruit there. No, because it is unbearing ground.
Well, even like now, I started working this week. Only because of partly necessity, but also I could see in my heart that the Creator was telling me is like, it's okay. Go ahead and get out of the house. You do need to get out there. It's a small income. I know you're complaining, but just accept it for now because it has to happen at this point because you need to go through some purging because you're too much of a rug rat in the house. Get out of the apartment, drive out there. You're going to bitch. You're going to complain, but it's understandable. But it's all for a purpose. Everything has its reason. And I know the reasons why. You will go through it, Nightwing, but you're going to go through it with love because we're with you. I got more money that came in this week, literally.
There you go.
Because of the efforts I put in. Efforts, and that was actually the universe saying, we're going to pay you forward. Don't worry about the money. You got money now. You can buy the toys that you need or want. It's okay to buy your toys because you're going to afford it. You're going to be able to have your food. You're going to have your living. You're not going to leave that apartment. I got worried about it. And he said, don't worry. We got you covered. So what happened? The AAs, archangels, collaborated. Not my own archangels. They reached out to their brothers.
Yeah.
They came in. They're like, we hear them. Boom. More money came in. I checked my phone. I'm like, holy crap. And then I start spreading it through my accounts. They're like, yes, spread your money. I felt it yesterday and I started spreading it through. I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, yes, you're going to get more. This is just the beginning.
Exactly.
This is only the beginning. You're not going to have a lack at all. Keep working on what you're working on because you're doing great. Yes, you're gonna bitch. Yes, you're gonna complain because it's like a child, but you're
That's
not a
what I'm
child
saying,
anymore.
like-
You're
like
an
a child,
adolescent
yeah.
growing into a higher direction. And I saw that. I'm like, okay. And they're like, yes. Now you understand where we're coming from. Keep following that. You know already. You have a knowledge. You have a knowing. Yes, we are existing. Yes, we're listening. And yes, you're not drinking as much because we set the stage for you to let go of the bottle. You don't need it as much. They were strong about it, but they were so, I mean, the compassion I felt, Shiva, it was so beautiful, so loving.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
we know you still love the bottle. Yes, you can have your tidbits. It's in
Your what?
moderation you're doing it now. You're doing it in
Your
moderation the
tidbits?
way it's supposed to. I
Yeah,
lost weight
tidbits.
too, by the way. I lost weight.
Did you? Yeah.
Yes, in a good way because I'm walking a lot at work.
That's good. That's good.
I'm learning a lot at work. I'm asking good questions and they want me to ask questions. So I am at work like crazy. And they want that. They're like, please ask the questions. And the angels are like, do what you need to do. If they want it, feed them. Give them the questions
What do you do?
have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to desks when I get a ticket that comes into the computer, which is restricted, by the way. I can't get online the damn things for my email. I'm like, ugh.
Really? Why?
It was hard, but it's okay. I accepted the reality.
Mm-hmm.
I got a new iPad coming in next Monday. Yay.
You got what coming in next
A
month?
new iPad. And
Oh, yeah.
the first one I bought didn't go through. The angels told me, no, you got a better deal coming in. It's going to cost less and you're going to get more. So I got a bigger capacity coming in Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's newer than the piece of shit I got now. They knew I needed it and they're giving it to me. So I paid less and I got more space.
More,
Yes.
yeah, more, yes, exactly.
So the angels saw what I needed. My heart spoke out and they gave it to me. I'm like, wow. I was so grateful. You can't believe, I gave a meditation of gratitude.
There you go. Exactly.
Because the love came through. They're like, we're taking care of you. And they told me, trust us more. Talk to us.
Exactly.
Talk to us.
Yes, yes.
The angels spoke more in my heart. I'm sleeping a bit better.
That's good.
I'm eating smarter. I don't have to worry about walking outside as much, but I do when I have a chance. It has been raining a lot down here.
Yes,
That's to cleanse the earth, which I got.
Yes, yes.
So everything is coming, unfolding in the way it's supposed to.
Exactly. And that's why, and that's why you said, right? It's supposed to.
It's supposed to, because the fact that I'm not going to lose my home until I decide to move from here. Meaning from this to a bigger location, which I will.
Yes.
They know that's my goal. It's to have a bigger apartment. I will in time. Everything is in its place, but I have to work towards it.
Right.
Now I understand.
They working to get you to grow up. That's what they want to do.
That's the other part, exactly.
Yeah.
They gave me the guitar that I purchased with the right budget, and not to be afraid of the guitar, which I spoke about last week. Well, I'm beginning to embrace it more.
Are you?
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
It hurts the fingers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but I'm actually appreciating it because I'm beginning to embrace again regarding, like a child, what is regarding the frequencies of every tone for every string I strum, the chords and so forth. So every experience is like a new thing, and I'll say 5 minutes to myself, but then it ends up being a half hour.
Really, yeah. Because
they said, don't worry about time. They're telling me time's irrelevant. Enjoy the experience of what you're doing. You're playing it.
It is.
You're learning the instrument. And yes, it is your new girl.
And you're enjoying it.
Oh, the other good news. Anita and I had a beautiful conversation yesterday on my lunch break. She told me, I love you, sweetheart. I'm like, wow. Oh, you know, I blew up.
Oh my gosh.
It was beautiful. It was a blessing. I mean, I felt so, alive.
Oh.
I was able to take a nap at my lunch break after I ate. She wants me to work on her computer and help her with a new website for her.
A website?
Yeah, because she's going to try and promote her catering on the internet.
Yeah, I want to get the website too, but I'm not in a hurry. Because I know change is coming in my life right now.
Yep. Well, a lot of changes are coming across the board.
Yeah, so I don't know, what I should.
Step by step, we'll get these things done. We will.
Because I'm moving forward,
Yes.
And so I don't want to continue
you still
to.
plan to relocate, or are you going to stay there?
No, we must relocate. It's impossible.
Because you're planning to go to California, right? The West Coast?
Yeah, because that's in the plan. So
Right.
that's where I'm building the
Time frame will be defined later on
the future
for that. Yeah.
For the humanitarians to come, for people, for everyone to come there.
Agreed.
Be there, you know, but
yeah.
because we can't grow if we're separated.
Right.
We must come into a whole.
We got to unify.
And right, in order to grow to a higher collective level of way of thinking, being, acting, living. You know what I mean?
Agreed.